Wham, what's happening? We are posted like a mailbox and it's more official than a ref with a whistle.
Okay.
And it is P. Diddy Buffer or me on Rated PG, Pierre's Cargo, and we're posted with the bro.
You got a lot of aliases.
I got warrants, I always say.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I forgot what rhymes with how. I got it. Lost Keys, the homie Will Foskey.
That's right. In here like a pair of lost keys. What's up, man?
You know, same shit, different toilet. You have any shows coming up?
Yeah, so let's see. First things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Yeah.
Oh, God, I did the worst ever first things first.
No, but so I'll be at the Laughing Skull tomorrow for Valentine's Day if you want to take your girl out, or if you just want to go by yourself, it doesn't matter.
What time's that show start?
There's 3. There's 5 o'clock, which is weird that they're doing that on a Thursday. A lot of people are still going to be at work. And anyone who's not at work at that time probably can't afford those fucking best of tickets. And then 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 10:30. Then I'll be in, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. People never come. Just check my Instagram. Go to my Instagram.
And what is your Instagram?
At WT Foskey. At WTFOSKEY.
What the Foskey?
Correct.
Boom. Will do. Do you have a Twitter?
I do. It's the same thing, but I rarely ever post.
Boom.
The last post I have on Twitter says, what did it say? I went back and looked. And it's like, I rarely ever use it, so when I go onto my Twitter, it's always just like, gonna try this Twitter thing again. But it's like 12 of those, and each one are like 3 months, so just one after the other. It just looks like a crazy person.
I was gonna say, it's like a series of tweets that let people know you don't know how to tweet.
Yeah. Twitter, I don't care for... Twitter's the easiest way to get yourself fucked up, I think.
What do you mean by fucking like beating up and... Or just
no, like, I don't know. You could just so easily just say some wrong shit and it get retweeted and everything.
I was about to say, somebody asked me the other day with the Kevin Hart thing. I don't do topical stuff really, but the Kevin Hart thing about them going back 8 years and finding that thing. Somebody was like, what if you get famous, Piere, and somebody goes back on your Facebook or your Instagram? I was like, 100% they're going to find something I've said.
Oh, totally. Same here.
I was like, so I'll never host anything big, probably.
But you know what? I think enough people, I mean, it's still wrong. Like, you shouldn't, I'm not defending what he said, but, or what anybody said for that matter. But if, I think enough people are probably going to start getting busted for saying fucked up shit to where if the wrong person's going to get caught, and then they're finally just going to be like, all right, that's it. Everybody gets one. You get one, you get one.
Like the Supreme Court justice called somebody a porch monkey when he was like 8.
Did he?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a lot of blackfacing going on in Virginia. Or, well, there was in the 80s.
Yeah, do you know Chris Jones, right?
Of course.
Chris Jones, I don't know if you saw it, he posted something on Instagram and D.L. Hughley retweeted. He was like, white people will put blackface on any and everything except Jesus.
Whoa. That's also a very Chris Set It Off Jones opinion.
Yeah, it is, very much. But how long have you been doing stand-up?
Well, the first time I did it was almost 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. But after that, I didn't do it for a few more months. So maybe 4.5 years, we'll say.
Has it been a solid 4.5?
Like consistent? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, ever since I picked it back up, I went full speed ahead. Yeah, it's been about 4, yeah.
So what got you started in entertainment or stand-up comedy?
Well, I don't know. I always liked it, like a lot. When I was a kid, I would always watch stand-up and shit. And it was just something, my friends used to think I was lame. Like, I don't know, do you remember stand-up was lame at one point? Because like everybody would just show people being mad was the funniest thing at my high school. Videos of people being mad about things.
Okay.
And that was funny too, but I would always be like, yeah, but like, did you guys see, look at Louis. Which now, I mean, is different connotation, but yeah, love stand-up. Then me and my friends, we would always, our lunch table was loud and we'd try to always be the funniest person or whatever. Then when I was 19, we were all like, let's put it into it. Let's all go do an open mic night. And whoever gets the most laughs is the funniest, and we just put it to rest.
Just put our dicks on the table.
It kind of almost started, like I always wanted to do it, but it sort of came out of like a petty argument. Mm-hmm. And I signed up for the Improv, assuming that they all did too. This is back when the Atlanta Improv was here in Buckhead. Okay. And then I get there, Ron White's headlining that night, and they were all there, and I was like, so when are you guys going up there? Like, we didn't sign up for that shit. So then I had to do my spot, but I had my little 5 minutes that I wrote, and it went well, and it shouldn't have, because they were my stupid 19-year-old thoughts, but I remember it actually went pretty well.
Well, that's good. I was about to say, I think I did pretty well my first time, too.
A lot of people who keep doing it do. They say you should bomb your first time, but I think a lot of people did pretty good their first time.
My very first worst bombing was when you were there at Uptown Comedy Corner, and what's his name? Ed Lover was hosting.
Oh man, that shit was. How pathetic is Ed Lover nowadays?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I've seen him at Chef Rob's hosting. This is on Thursday sometime. I don't think he does it anymore, but he literally would go out there and do the same thing. He I know some people do the same material, but like it was like 2 years and he did the same thing. And you guys see me last couple of weeks, and everybody was like, woo! Like everyone, he goes, I'm doing the same jokes, and everybody was like, woo!
Yeah, you know what else? He asked me if I wanted a picture, and I said no. Just off of principle of how like sad it sounded. I was such a little fucker about that, dude.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, you were a bit sharper on the edges, like when I first met you, like when it comes to like cutting people. I would never ask you how I did. I would just like see the facial expressions you would make when people are on stage, just be like.
But you know what's fucked up about that is I had to have been doing like the hackiest, corniest shit too, you know? Like when I was just insecure, I guess. And because I feel like I've calmed down a little bit, but I have been told that I get snippy with people.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with being snippy. I just think that's who you are. Like a couple of people was like, "Oh yeah, man, Foskey's a dick." I don't remember who it was. Like you see it, I would laugh. I'm like, I mean, yeah, but you don't need to be friends with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Necessarily. I was like, and being a dick doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah, and well, I think everybody's a dick. It's unfair to say that because especially in stand-up, like your brain works to just pick things apart.
Yeah.
And if you see a comedian or a behavior pattern that you don't like, you're gonna pick it apart. And maybe some people are just a little more vocal about it than others. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Because I remember when we were at Relapse and you dropped a beer or something, or somebody not spilled your beer or something like that, and you had a mop and you were like cleaning it up, and then Cap came by with his camera and just like started recording.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty dick. And then he was just laughing about it. I was like, oh, everybody's a dick.
Yeah, everybody's an asshole. That doesn't matter.
Let me ask you this. When you first got started in entertainment, what were your thoughts of making it then to what are they now?
Well, it was weird, man. So maybe other questions will answer. I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I wanted to be in movies because I really liked like the Judd Apatow movies. Like I wanted to be like Seth Rogen.
Okay.
But he did stand-up when he was really young.
I didn't know that.
Also, I guess technically, first time I ever did stand-up, we would do open mic lunches in our cafeteria, and I would do impressions of the teachers and like songs and shit.
That's beautiful.
But it was my senior year, and I barely did it. But anyway, I was like, I'm doing what Seth Rogen did. And so I thought it would be like that. And the further I've gotten into it, like, hello, camera. Cameras freak me the fuck out. Like, unless I'm more into the writing, directing, the idea of doing that now. I'm a lazy piece of shit and I never actually act on it. But unless, you know, I don't know, I'm all over the place.
Well, no, it's fine. It's like this, when the question's a little steep. It's like when I first got started, I wanted to be famous, is what I said. I was like, I just want to be famous.
Yeah.
I want to be on stages. I want to be doing this. Now I'm like, I just want to get paid to create content on some sort of platform.
Sure, dude. I mean, you got it going now, right?
Yeah, you know, I meant me quit my actual job.
Oh yeah.
Like
definitely.
That point, like, would you rather perform stand up or would you rather write? I'm like, if they both paid the same exact amount of money, I wouldn't know.
Dude, yeah, that's true. And then, but now the idea of acting, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Johan said he actually, when he went out to LA, they tried to but they always try to push upon you, try acting out. Or like look for casting agencies and stuff like that. He
say hell no?
He didn't say hell no. He actually not tried it out, but he auditioned for a couple of things, and the casting director told him, like, you do comedy, right? Because they could tell he was funny. And he was like, yeah, they said a lot of people that are trying to be actors don't do anything else.
Oh yeah, but anyway, people who are actors don't do anything else. They don't do stand-up or music or whatever.
So he was like, if you actually do comedy, you have a better footing in becoming an actor. Because people can see that you're already entertaining. So they can put you as your character, who you actually are, in something instead of trying to force you in somewhere.
He would be a good character actor, I bet.
I believe so, too.
He would do good. He should be on like an episode of Atlanta or something.
I would put him on there. Just a nigga at the gas station. Hey, got that game.
Yeah. Same ball, different draws. Shout out to Johan, say.
Dang gang. Where was the most memorable place comedy is taking you?
Most memorable place? T.I.'s birthday party.
Damn.
Coolest thing of all time. I got to be in a T.I. music video. And
were you like in it, the video?
Mm-hmm. If you look up Broadcast Live, I have a little speaking role at the beginning where I'm a drug dealer. And I'm saying, I got that Breaking Bad, bro. I got that blue shit. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's kind of racist. Okay.
Sure. I mean, but whatever. It's T.I., dude. I didn't give a fuck. And DC was in the video too. And anyway, so a few maybe weeks after that or something, he had like a show and a birthday party and all this, and I got to go on the list. And actually, what's hilarious is, so I had a girl I was talking to at the time. We'd been on maybe 1 or 2 dates, and I was like, I'm just gonna impress her. And I asked if she wanted to go, and she was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna go. And I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go.
Wow.
So then at the time I was working with my buddy Mike, a guy who I barely fucking knew, and I didn't really have time to do anything else. So I was like, "You want to just go?" And he was like, "Yeah." So me and him went to the TI show, and then it was a free concert, and then there was an after party. He had a place called Scales 925, not to be confused with 529, the open mic in East Atlanta. Two very different places. And it was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Wow. I don't know how much of it I should really reveal on here, but it was one of those things where I was like, you ever had a moment where you're like, it might not get better than this, so I should just really enjoy this right now?
Yeah, I've had a moment like that. It wasn't with comedy yet, but one day it'll get there.
Oh, sure.
What was the biggest show you've ever performed at or for, like, venue-wise, I suppose, or like head count, or could you even tell how many people?
Well, it would have been, I guess, probably Center Stage. I was on a show with DC Young Fly and Nav Green and Marco, Erica, Moneybag, just the whole Ratchet People meet crew.
Moneybag, yeah.
Moneybag was to me very underrated.
Yeah.
Very, very, very underrated. Follow Moneybag Mafia if you get the he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyways. God, and it sucks because I was so new that, like, if I had that opportunity now, I would have. And I didn't do bad,
right?
But I was just not even being myself, really. Like, I think when you're white and you perform for a lot of black audiences, especially like if you're really new and young, it's so easy.
How old were you?
Center Stage, yeah. I would have been 20.
Ooh. And
I'm about to be 24 now.
Right.
So, and it's so easy to just slip into that kind of like, token white boy.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna name someone.
We all know who you're talking
about.
But you know what? I want to talk shit about it, but I was no different. I was doing the same fucking shit. Oh, I feel like I might have even opened with being like, I feel like I'm in 8 Mile right now. Shit.
And then everyone's like, oh, he's white.
Yeah, it killed. But it was just some hacky ass bullshit because I was young and I didn't know any better. But regardless, it was still a cool thing to do.
And you said you did good, though. Let me ask you this. What was your most memorable bomb?
Most memorable bomb?
Like the one when you close your eyes, you're like, yeah, I actually did that, and it happened.
I bombed at a retirement home once. That was pretty bad. And it was totally my fault. I was trying to too cool for school it because I just didn't take the gig seriously, which is a bad look.
Right. Was it, like, full of people?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they were old as fuck. And a couple comics we know were there too, and I was just wanting to make them laugh. I just didn't even care.
And how long was it?
Huh?
How long were you on stage?
9 minutes. Maybe. I'll tell you this, less time than was required of me. It was so bad, dude. Nathan was there. Hilda was there. Remember her? Mm-mm. Maybe that was before your time. And
I've only been doing stand-up like 2.5 years.
Whatever. Regardless, I made a remark about how, like, if I were in their position, I'd be selling my medication to teenagers, just stuff like that. And afterwards, one of the nurses was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, man.
That was pretty bad. And then other than that... Oh, no. Worst bomb? I'll tell you this. On Halloween 2 years ago at Star Bar, they encourage you to dress up. So I dressed up. And I was going to be Bam Margera because I do a decent Bam impression, and I like it because I feel like that's an impression not a lot of people do. But it turns out it's for a reason because nobody gives a fuck about Bam Margera anymore. So I didn't just dress as him. I did a set as him, and I thought little 5 Point skateboarders, whatever they may know, and it just did not work. It worked for about 1.5 minutes, and then I just stayed in the bit. And it was so bad. And then my roommate even gave me an out because he came up on stage and like told me to like slap him or whatever. So I like fake slapped like how Bam would slap his dad. And he meant slap him in the face, and then Michael Rowland comes back on stage. He was guest hosting, and he goes, dude, what the hell was that? He was like, you could have slapped him, you fiddle faddle. That's what you, and I just ate it. I ate shit so bad, dressed as Bam Margera. That was the worst bomb of all time.
Man. It happens to everybody. Like, I know it does.
I call it Bomb Margera whenever Yeah, I know you like the word play.
I'm punny. I try to be. How did you recover from it?
Told everybody I was gonna kill myself so they'd feel better. No, I'm just kidding.
You Joe Smithed it?
No, I just sort of just bit the bullet and just let everyone roast me until I just wrote new jokes. If you write a good new bit, people tend to forget.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, I don't know.
Unless it's real bad. Unless it's real bad.
You ever been booed?
Yes.
Is that worse than bombing, or?
No, because a boo is at least some sort of a reaction.
Instead of just waiting for something to happen?
Yeah.
Like, what happened at Uptown?
I just was being shitty, probably. I don't know. I probably made some dumb joke about, like, because at the time I was doing the hackiest shit ever. I was probably like, black girls. I probably even phrased it as, black girls be doing, something. Somebody was like, boo, you're fucking phony, shut the fuck up.
Were you there when they were shaking keys at people?
I did that. They do that at the new Uptown. I did that show. I had somebody reach for a key, but then the joke ended up going okay.
No, man. I got booed once. I don't know at that Village Theater show, but it didn't really count. Like,
a boo is a boo.
Well, nah, it was, the whole situation was fixed. Like, I was number like 5. The one chick brought like 8 people. Mm-hmm. I didn't know at the time you bring your voter type deal.
Oh yeah.
So the first person on my line was fucking killing it. And 3 minutes went off. They dimmed the lights, and like I just hear a certain like 5 or 6 people just start clapping. Mm-hmm. And then the guy was like, "All right," he got off stage, and those same people just started clapping everybody.
Oh wow.
So when I got on stage, I was doing a bit. Everybody's like laughing. The lights dim, and I hear one person clapping. And I was like, "Shut the fuck up." And everybody started laughing, and like other people started clapping or whatever, and I was like, I'm not finished. And like and like a couple people in the crowd were like, shut up, like talking to the people clapping. They were like, finish the joke. Because I was in the middle of it, they just kept clapping. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna finish the joke. And Kedar was hosting, and he was like, shut the fuck up, like people in the crowd. And then
Isn't comedy just awesome when they add bells and whistles to it?
I guess.
I'm being sarcastic.
But no, like that whole clapping thing, it crushed a few people because they stopped doing stand up. They were like, yeah.
For real?
Yeah, they're like, I don't think it's cut out for me. I was like, why? I said, they booed me. I was like, and?
Yeah, whatever. But I get it though. Because I remember after the BAM night, I was just like, fuck, man. I just remembered, like, thank God Rodney wasn't fucking there.
I actually, I don't know if I can talk about it. Probably not. I don't remember. But I saw Rodney at that Game Changers thing. Did you see that on Instagram? It's like Clayton English and Trevor Noah are shooting a pilot show.
Trevor Noah Gardensworth?
No, Trevor, yeah, Gardensworth, yeah. I said Noah, Jesus Christ. But no, they're shooting like a sports show where they like riff and talk about sports topics and stuff like that. And I was there, Rodney was there, David Perdue, a couple of other people. And then, do you watch football?
Enough.
You know Josh Norman?
Yes.
He was there.
Oh, cool.
And they were like, we need 4 volunteers. I just raised my hand. It was me and 3 other people. And they was like, all right, you guys are going to be playing dodgeball with Josh. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, you're going to be playing dodgeball. You're going to be trying to dodge the balls. I was like, oh, he's throwing. They were like, yeah. I was like, so professional NFL players going to be lobbing dodgeballs at us in close proximity.
Oh, yeah.
It was like from like here to here pretty much. And they were like, yeah, he's not going to throw it hard. And he was like, yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, like in Billy Madison. He fucking hit those kids for real.
Nah, he banged me. My glasses fell off. It's on camera. Like, it was right.
Did your hat fall off?
No, I held on to that.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, my God. That would have been bad. That would have been like on World Star, probably.
That would have been like cartoonishly.
It would have been like a replay, like a sprite cam from 2K, just and zoom in.
Right.
I forgot what I was going to ask you next.
Well, luckily you have it on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I do. Have you ever walked away from a show feeling like euphoric, like I fucked that whole show up?
Yeah.
Feel like that all the time?
No. It's never enough, ever.
And what show was this?
I could have the best time of my life and it just wouldn't be enough for you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I headlined Star Bar and I
was there.
I told myself I'm going to do at least 30 minutes because the minimum is they ask you have to do 15 minutes. But in my head I was like, I don't want to only do 15 minutes. Fuck that shit. And so I said I was going to do at least 30, and I ended up doing 43 in some seconds, and it went really well.
The whole time?
Yeah. I mean, there were maybe a couple of dips here and there, but it's 12:30 after 3 hours of other stand-up.
Right.
And I had Khaled open for me. Well, open for me. He went. I asked Rodney. I was like, "Can Khaled go right up before I did?" And he did really good. And
shout out to Khaled El Shufi.
Opinions and shit. We'll get to that later. And it was great. It was like, my best friend just opened for me, and I did a joke about him. Then I did, just a whole bunch of shit. I closed with the T.I. Birthday party story.
Heard.
And I just walked off being like, fuck yeah, I did that shit and I did it the way that I wanted to do it.
I love that cigarette bit too.
What cigarette bit?
Housewarming party.
Oh yeah. I have a bit, the bit has become stigmatized in my mind now, but yeah, I did it at the Punchline, and Marcy informed me that there was a person who works there who was a victim of a house fire, and I talked to her afterwards, and I was like, oh, my bad, and she just she didn't even go like, oh yeah, but she just went, yeah.
So she's just, that was gonna sound so insensitive, but I'm like, she's bitter about it, but I was like, well, yeah, probably.
And my thing is, I may bring it back, but I was kind of getting tired of the joke anyway, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I was just like, oh man.
What's the longest you've ever performed?
On stage? I did, you know what? The longest consecutively I ever did on stage, I think I did an hour at Jimmy Mac's one time. Because I got there, and there was just me and the host. And they were like, no, it was Heather at Tolly Bauer.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, she's going to do her time, but then we need you to do like an hour to fill the slot of the show, or we might lose the show. And I was like, all right. And then so I did an hour.
At Jimmy Mac's.
Did not have an hour. This was probably 2 years before I did 40 whatever minutes at Star Bar.
Man.
And even that, I felt like at times was a little bit of a stretch. And then I did it, and it went fine. But I saw some video of it looking back, and I was like, you stupid kid. You dumb fucking child.
I'd do that. And Facebook reminded me of my first stand-up like 2.5 years ago. I cringed at it.
It's so bad, dude. No matter how good, I don't mean you, but just in general, no matter how, good you thought you were at the time. I may even watch this 2 years from now and be like, you just thought you had it all figured out. You're a fucking piece of shit.
Somebody told me, I think Clayton English, he was like, the future you was talking shit about the you right now.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
Did he just, how did that come up?
We were smoking and shit, talking about, bro, how can you see the future if you right now, because if you see the future, ain't it gonna change? And if you knew it was coming, why didn't you do something different about it type deal?
Jesus.
It's like, if I hit the blunt, if I hit myself hella hard and it hurts, am I strong or am I weak? Type shit. And you're like, oh, fuck. But clean comedy, what's the longest you've done clean comedy?
20 minutes.
I had 20. I think I cut it at 13 or 14.
You know what the key to clean comedy is?
What?
This is just my fucking stupid 24-year-old opinion, but I saw when I was in Nashville recently, and I saw a guy, very famous dude, he does church shows, and I watched him, and it occurred to me that you can't have, clean comedy doesn't necessarily mean cute comedy.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of what I saw, what it is, if you have to generate, this is gonna make a bunch of bad comedians if they just take this advice at face value, but you create a hypothetical person that's doing something incorrectly, and then you chastise them for it. That's so much of what it is.
Gotcha.
I love Sebastian Maniscalco, but I've noticed that's a lot of what it is.
I actually
he'll be like, you see these people? You see these people at the store?
Yeah, or he's I see this guy get the Jimmy put in his earbuds.
Yeah.
He's got the camel pack with the water.
Yep. And there it is. It's you create a guy, you make someone up, and then you criticize them for doing some shit wrong, and then everybody's like, yeah.
Johan said I asked him about clean comedy too. He said he did 40 minutes clean, and he said the issue with him was clean doesn't necessarily mean don't curse and say this, that, and third. He said they mean content.
Sure.
He said because you can talk about getting your dick sucked without ever saying getting your dick sucked. Right. Those words. And that content is dirty, but you can still say it however you want to say it.
Oh, totally.
So I was like, that's clever. I've been thinking about how to write different ways like that too. But let me ask you about opinions and shit. That is your podcast. And
yes.
Where could you listen in on this podcast?
Oh shit, are we already like out of time?
You got like 8 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool. Opinions and shit. Khaled, El Chufi, and I started a podcast together. We're really good friends, and you can find it on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes. And basically, if you haven't heard it, I'm telling you, I feel like you've probably heard like one.
I heard like 4.
Oh, okay, cool. 4 is a good number. I like that. I can fuck with 4.
There was like Katie, Ian Aber, Madi, and...
oh, I see what it is. You're listening to the important people.
No, it's the people that I actually know.
Oh, okay, sure it is. Sure.
I haven't listened to the one with Catherine Blanford.
You listen to it to go up to him and be like, I really liked your episode. So
negative ghostwriter.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, but anyway, Khaled is a Syrian American and the funniest fucking kid ever. He's a Syrian redneck and it's hilarious. And me and him both grew up in country-ish suburbs, so we have kind of similar sensibilities, and we just sort of talk about that.
And opinions and shit.
Correct.
So, and since we're talking about opinions and shit, how do you form your opinions on who you want to be on your show?
Is this about to be you asking me if you
I will never ask you to be on opinions and shit, but I will never reject the idea.
Oh, I see. Just no black people, no women. I'm just kidding. We're only having...
rip. We're just gonna...
No, we're actually only having black guests this month. We just had Dexter and Tommy. Nav Green will be out this week. Then we're having one with Amon, and then we're having Lisa. And anyway, whatever.
Like, have you seen Theo Von's podcast?
Yeah.
He's by himself.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I couldn't do that. I would need Khaled.
Like, and that's why I usually Cap's here with somebody else, because I usually, like you just said, kind of stick to like the interview-esque type deal, and Cap has the world's worst ADD.
Yeah, Khaled's sort of the same way. He describes things in ways I've never heard a human being describe something.
Right.
And so yeah, so it's easy. Like I'll be like, fuck, I can't think of anything this week. But then if I do, I'll just be like, oh, Khaled, what do you think about this? And I'll be like, man, fucking.
You're like, you know what I think? Like I like that when we were at a Best Bud show. Like, what was you guys' thing? The cat got sent 700 miles.
Oh yeah,
something.
Yeah. From weirdnews.com.
And Khaled was really concerned about, how did this cat get in here? And no one heard this whole cat this whole time. I would have never thought to ask these questions.
Speaking of which, I would be remiss not to bring this up. But Khaled and I are doing a live opinions and shit show at Relapse Theater. We wanted to just call it the shit show, but I was like, people aren't gonna come. We may change it if we have to.
I think comedians would come.
Yeah. But and who knows, that may end up being what it is. So March 15th at the Relapse Theater at 8 p.m.
Friday night.
Yes, right. Tickets are $5 online, $7 at the door, because we'd rather you just spend money on drinks. But if you talk, we're going to kick you out. I don't care. Don't ruin the thing we love.
One thing I'm always afraid of is talking, or someone talking while you're on stage, because you have really good ears and you can focus really well. I've seen you on stage like, yeah.
Oh, I'll zero in on somebody.
I've seen that they'll be talking, you're like, yeah, hey, you want to shut the fuck up? No?
Yeah. That's a bad look.
Whole room just, you're like, it's okay, guys, it's a comedy show.
No, I mean, that's the thing, I should not say it like that.
It kills me. I'm just like, oh, there he goes.
Yeah, because my voice, I look like a piece of shit, but my voice can sometimes sound like an authority figure. I'm like, I've had about enough of that. Then now playtime's over and nobody wants to laugh because I had to be a bitch.
But we got about 2 or 3 minutes left.
Okay.
But once again, folks, if you want to follow Mr. Will Foskey, you can follow him on Instagram at WTF Foskey. No, what's the Foskey?
Does this mean we're not even going to get to talk about my oil paintings?
No, not even close. Like, I mean, I know you're really involved with them. But what the Foskey on the Instagram, same thing on Twitter. He doesn't tweet. You can give him a reason to tweet when you follow him on there.
Yeah, if I start seeing him come in, I'll give you something to talk about.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And you can follow me at P Diddy Boppa. It's P Diddy then a B. You're going to see a nigga that look just like me. And keep it tuned, folks, and we'll be black. If that's all white with you. Is that all white with you, Foskey?
Yeah.
Heard. And adios, Au revoir, arrivederci, ciao, aloha, shalom, namaste, dos vidania, kwaheri, bye.